The City of Columbia Utilities is bringing back their late fee charges on past due utility bills for bills issued after today, August 1st. Thanks for choosing us on this Sunday night. I'm Chanel Porter. ABC 17's Layla Mitchell is live from City Hall tonight after talking with city officials. Layla, they told you now is the right time to bring back those late fees.
Chanel, today I spoke with a city official who told me with the state of the emergency lifted and things returning back to normal, now is the right time to reinstate the late fees. However, I did speak to a Columbia resident who told me she thinks it's still too soon.
People are going to be trying really hard to pay them on time, which means they might be taking money from money that they need for food, for car brakes, or like actual necessities.
Callie McCarthy, a Columbia resident and Mizzou student, said she knows many people who are still struggling from the past year and a half. She told me with the pandemic still affecting many lives, it is too soon to reinstate the fees. The City of Columbia Utilities made the decision to pause late fees back in April of 2020 to help people deal with the financial strain of the pandemic.
And the city manager declared a state of emergency for the city in April of 2020, the late fees were dropped.
Starting tomorrow, any portion of a bill that is not paid by the due date will face a 3% late fee.
Due date is 20 days after the bill is issued. If you get a bill dated August 2nd and it's not paid by August 23rd, whatever is not paid, you'll face a 3% late fee.
Those with unpaid bills could pay up to $30 for the city to shut off their utilities and another $60 for them to turn it back on.
Late fees are written into the ordinances. So it's been a part of the fabric of Columbia Utilities since we were established. The manager lifted the state of emergency in May. We decided the time was right to go ahead and reinstate the late fees.
Customers will receive a past due notice, including a possible disconnection of service. Services could be disconnected if not paid in full 30 days from the bill issue date. And today I got my hands on the city's delinquent utility accounts and from September 2020 to June 2021. At the peak, there was close to 8,000 customers late on utility bills, costing the city $4.2 million. Reporting live in Columbia, Layla Mitchell, ABC 17 News.
Layla, thank you. The city says there are assistance programs for anyone needing help paying their utility bills. You can check that out at como.gov to learn more. New tonight around 7 a.m. this morning, Columbia police arrested one man after a disturbance in the parking lot of the Columbia Mall. Officers learned that a male suspect attempted to run over a female victim with a vehicle. The suspect continued to assault the victim by grabbing her by the hair and dragging her into the car before leaving the scene. Shortly after 2 p.m., officers were called to the 2000th block of Gus Court to a reports of a verbal altercation. Further investigation revealed the altercation involved 34-year-old Joseph Jones of Columbia that was involved in the incident at the mall. Jones was arrested and is in custody at the Boone County Jail. In an ABC 17 News crime alert tonight, Ashland police have released the name of a man wanted for a homicide that we told you about last week. 19-year-old Robin Morales Sanchez is wanted for the murder of Moses Hernandez Sanchez. He has also been charged with assault in the first degree and 2 counts of armed criminal action. An arrest warrant has been issued for Sanchez. Authorities say to call local law enforcement or Crime Stoppers if you see him. A woman is recovering today after an assault in Columbia. Columbia Police Department responded to the 100 block of Benton Street around 11:30 Friday night for a report of an assault. There they found a woman with serious injuries. Officers located the 30-year-old suspect, Travis Goach, a few hours later and arrested him. CPD reports say this is an ongoing investigation. One person has been arrested in connection with a shooting near Clark Lane yesterday morning. In the incident, one woman was shot and suffered non-life-threatening injuries. This man, 28-year-old Darius Davis of Columbia, was arrested on multiple charges related to the shooting. Davis was arrested for domestic assault in the first degree, assault in the first degree, armed criminal action, unlawful use of a weapon, unlawful possession of a firearm, and tampering with physical evidence. Looking now at weather for this week, today was absolutely beautiful, and it looks like that trend's going to be continuing. ABC 17 Storm Track forecaster Chance Gotch is tracking this week's conditions. Chance, thankfully the humidity has dropped from what it was last week.
Yeah, Chanel, that's due to this high pressure system we're seeing just off to the north right now. It's pretty much drying up the air we're seeing, and we're having northerly flowing winds, which is going to cool us down for the next several days. We're going to be well below that average here in Columbia. Usually you're going to sitting in the upper 80s, but today we only topped out at 84. Tomorrow we're only looking at 81 for the high, but right now we are looking at 72 degrees here in Columbia. Start heading a little bit farther southwest and starting to cool off a little bit close towards the lake. You can see Warsaw at 69, and as we go a little bit further east at Lynn, 71 degrees, so not too bad across the area. It's starting to cool down a little bit, so we're getting a little bit of break from those temperatures we saw earlier on in July. Now today we're looking at, we saw a high of 84 degrees. The average usually sits about 89 degrees, so we're about 5 degrees below that. But look at that record, 110 degrees for the record high today. And the low for August 1st, 45 degrees. So we're about midway in between there. Just a little bit cooler than average, but not too much. Now, if you plan on going out tomorrow morning, maybe getting some mowing done because we saw a little bit of rain earlier on Saturday. It's going to be a great time to do it. We're looking at 65 degrees at 8 a.m., 74 at 10 a.m., and 12 p.m., 78 degrees, and 2 p.m. just hitting 80. So just a degree off our mark for tomorrow. You can see those temperatures cool down tomorrow. Then we slowly start to gradually warm up. Once we hit towards Friday, we're going to be on par with the average, and Saturday looking at 92 degrees. So going to be beautiful weather to go out this week and enjoy that sunshine. We're going to be seeing plenty of it. Mostly clear skies tomorrow, then a little bit of partly cloudy. Thursday, a little bit more cloud cover, but it's looking pretty beautiful. Like I said, those temperatures going to be well below average until Friday, and we could see some scattered showers on Saturday.
Starting tomorrow, Boone County Office of Emergency Management will update its policy relating to when outdoor warning sirens will be activated. Sirens will be activated in Boone County when the Weather Service issues a severe thunderstorm warning with a destructive tag included in the warning language. The National Weather Service will put that destructive tag on a warning if there is a threat of baseball-sized hail and or if there is a threat of winds up to 80 miles per hour or higher. The drive behind the change to the system was a destructive storm in Iowa that created just as much damage as a tornado. Multiple people are recovering after a boat explosion at the Lake of the Ozarks. It happened around 2:30 yesterday afternoon in Camden County. According to Missouri State Highway Patrol, the boat experienced a mechanical failure causing an explosion in the engine compartment. 3 women were taken to Lake Regional Hospital for moderate injuries. The man driving the boat was not injured. Looking now at COVID-19 in mid-Missouri, as cases continue to surge this past few weeks, some universities are set to mask back up. Both the University of Missouri and Lincoln University in Jefferson City will require masks beginning tomorrow. A spokesperson for Mizzou says this is a direct response to the increase in cases primarily caused by the Delta variant, with Lincoln University referencing the CDC guidelines when discussing why. Mizzou does list exceptions like not requiring masks while in a workspace alone or when social distancing is possible. MU Healthcare is opening a dedicated COVID-19 testing site in Columbia. The new testing site is opening tomorrow due to the increase in demand for testing as cases continue to rise in the area. The site will be located at 2003 West Broadway in Suite 100 in Columbia. If you want to get tested, you will need to schedule an appointment online. Appointments will be available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Just ahead on ABC 17 News at 10, where the news comes first.
The eviction moratorium expired yesterday, leaving millions of people across the U.S. and thousands right here in Missouri at risk of losing their homes. We'll have more after the break.